Well, thank you, Dr. Basu Ray, for joining me today. I'm really excited to speak with you and share a little bit more about your upcoming retreat and workshops here with our guests for Mount Shasta. We're really excited to have you. Um, I want to start out by asking you, I know we've talked about it a few times in different conversations, but I'd love for our audience to hear how you, as a young man, young child, got interested into meditation.
So it started when I was pretty young. And I was interested in the history of the esoteric, when I read about what Buddha did, a bunch of other powerful people did. So, and what I found is that meditation not only gives you spirituality, but gets the Superman out of you. You can do miraculous things. And though the literature is full of those things, I actually wanted to meet people who had these powers. And
Mhm.
I did meet a bunch of them. And what I learned is that meditation is the process by which you connect with the universe. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we are just individuals busy with all our brain busy doing day-to-day tasks. Oh, I need to go to job tomorrow. My boss might not behave right with me. I've got a problem in my house. So our brain, which is a huge brain, the next relative of ours, which is a monkey, orangutan, their brain is like 400 to 800 cc's. An average human brain is 1600 cc's. So why has nature or God or whatever you want to call it has given this huge jump from 800 to 1600, which is twice the size? And the reason is this brain has got the power to do many things than have a normal life, which 99% of us have. But the problem is you have a good car, you have a Tesla, which you can self drive, but you got to read the manual. Or you can drive your Tesla yourself like a broken Toyota from place A to place B. Nobody's stopping you. So the nature or God, and imagine this, in 100 years of history of cars, we started from the invention of car by Ford to a self-driven Tesla. Now your body, your brain is at least 4 million, some people say even 6 million years old. So if this machine has been working for 6 million years, imagine the power it will have. But the problem is we don't read the manual. We treat our brain just like anything and we drive it like a broken Toyota. So meditation is the process by which not only you understand who you are, you can fix your future, you can do whatever you want to do. At the same time, get rid of all these multifarious diseases that stress causes due to our everyday existence. So that is what propelled me. I need to get into the depth of meditation. I need to understand how I can change my brain. And that's where it all started.
Beautiful. What a beautiful analogy, too. Yeah. So as you kind of developed this practice for yourself growing up and getting interested in it, how did the inspiration for you to bring it into Western medicine, did that come as an ongoing inspiration or did it come as a download one day in your meditations? Like, tell me how that kind of developed into your career.
So, what is it? To understand that, we have to go back slightly into the history of yoga. So, yoga started maybe say 5,000 years old. Yoga started actually older than that. But the yoga was put down into form of writing by Patanjali, which is around 3 to 5,000 years old. Now, it existed hundreds of years before that, and we actually do not know who the originator is. Now, when it was put down in writing, that writing is called the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Now, when you do meditation, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, remember there's 196 aphorism. Out of that aphorism, only 3 aphorism is on asanas. So the common concept in America that bending your neck or bending your leg, and if you can do that for long enough, if you stand on your head for half an hour, you're a great yogi. You're not. If asanas or physical exercise was that important, there would have been 193 aphorisms on physical exercise and on 3 on philosophy.
Mhm.
But there are 193 on philosophy and the powers you develop, the miraculous powers you develop. You develop a fantastic memory. you can get whatever you want on this earth, because once you connect with the hardware, you can make changes. Now, let me give you a very simple example. You can get the world's best computer. You can get a brand new Mac, $5,000, $10,000. Will you be open? Can you open up a document? You can't. To open up a document, you need the Microsoft software. So the same with the brain. So you need to have that software to open up. And what is that software? So what has happened is that human beings are given this brain, but we have in the past, say maybe 1200 years, what happened is in India, if you look at Indian history, there were invasion by Muslim invaders from the Central Asia, hundreds of temples, which were basically the place where discussions used to go on about yoga. And yoga itself was a completely philosophical thing with regular practice of meditation, regular practice of breathing techniques. That slowly got eroded because with like 800 years of Islamic rule, followed by 400 years of British rule, all these got lost. So just like in India, what happened? In India, what happened is there was slowly degradation of yoga from a powerful mental breathing exercise to only physical exercise. And when yoga got revived, maybe 200 years back, the first part that got revived was asanas. But this older documents never existed. Why? Because we had a university called Nalanda, which was at that time India's world's Harvard. Nalanda was burned by the Islamic invaders. So, and it took 7 days to burn. So imagine how big the university must have been. If you try to burn Harvard, it will possibly burn off in a day or two.
Yeah.
So the university was so big, and we have historical records, people coming from China, people coming from Middle East. Remember, zero was discovered in India. All the top mathematicians, they all came because it's a 10,000 years old civilization. Now, with this erosion of knowledge, yoga got converted into a physical exercise. And that is what came to America
Mm.
to a large extent. Though the person who introduced Eastern philosophy to America, Swami Vivekananda, he introduced the entire concepts of the Hindu philosophy. But the problem is, the core of Hindu philosophy is very difficult to understand for the common man. Most people believe Hinduism is a religion where there are multiple gods and goddesses. That is not true. The core of Hinduism is called Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta means it's the core of Hinduism. There is no God, there is no goddesses, because Hinduism says there are multiple and it said this not today, 10,000 years back. There are multiple universes. Every second, a universe is created. You cannot have a Shiva, which is a Hindu god, or Jesus, a Christian god, to be the master of the universe. These are great, powerful people, saints, who was born to show us the way. So something that is infinite, the Lord of the infinite, cannot be a finite entity. Doesn't matter how powerful he is.
Mhm.
So this is very esoteric. For a common man, it is easy to go to a church, pray to a picture of Jesus, is go to a temple, pray to a picture of some Hindu god, go to a mosque. It's much easier to do
Mhm.
than think of the infinite. So what has happened is the philosophical part of yoga got constantly eroded till it was almost non-existent. And what was only in existence was the physical part, doing exercise. Now, along with that, another thing happened. Science started looking at yoga to see if it helps mankind. And scientists who are neither Hindus nor from India, were not biased, they did research. They were Hindus, they were Christians, they were Muslims, they were Jews, they are from America, they are from Germany. No clue whatsoever what yoga was. And when they did research, they found yoga is a powerful element to treat all the modern diseases, whether it is heart disease, heart attack, diabetes, cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, name it, mental diseases. So, with this understanding, there was an assimilation of science along with yoga. But remember, when you really practice yoga in the full extent, that is mindfulness, meditation, you understand the truth. So, though it was